Okay guys, I am going to take a minute here and explain how these Etsy reserves are working for some of you that aren't understanding what all the hoopla is about. So, okay, let's start with saying that you make $100 a day on Etsy. That's what your sales are. And we're just making up numbers here to make the math easy. Okay, they're going to put $75, 75%, into a reserve fund. Okay, so the amount needed in your reserve at that point is $75. That means $25 will not be held in reserves. If your shipping only cost you $10, then that means you have $15 left over. So once again, the amount in your reserve account is $75 and you'll be deposited $15. $10 of it went to the post office. So as long as your shipping cost is less than that 25%, you will continue to get deposits every day. They'll just be less until your packages start getting delivered. In this scenario, we're going to pretend that in 2 weeks, your packages start from back on day 1 are going to start showing as delivered, and they will start getting deposited back, and your deposits will go back to their normal $90 amount on day 15, right? We get $90 because you have $100 minus $10 shipping label. Means you'll start getting $90. Okay. But let's say that you have very expensive shipping. Let's say that for you, when the 75 gets put in reserve and the 25 is not put in reserve, then let's say a third of your cost goes to shipping. So $33.33. That means that your deposit should technically be a negative $8.33. So what Etsy is doing is they're taking that out of your reserve amount. So that means that at the end of day 1, you are supposed to have $75 in your reserve account, but you only have $66. So when we accrue this on to the next day, you sold another $100 worth of stuff, and now you're supposed to have $75 from yesterday and $75 from today in this account. But after shipping, you get more and more behind on the amount that's actually in your reserve. So this is going to keep happening, and it will cost you an extra day before you start seeing money. Instead of seeing money on day 15, you're going to have to let the amount in this reserve account catch up, and you won't start seeing money until day 16. Okay, but that's assuming that all of your stuff is marked as delivered and those funds are released within 14 days. But there are sellers saying that even after the item is marked as delivered, those funds aren't being released. So if that's true, if the money is being held for a full 45 days, now you've got a very different scenario on your hands, because now this amount that's in your reserve and what's supposed to be in there is going to keep getting further and further apart until you get to 45 days. But even at 45 days, these are so far apart, you're not going to actually see a deposit until day 52. Right? That's a far cry. That's, well over a month. Now, to complicate this even further, Etsy is doing this very close to Christmas. We've been basing this on selling $100 a day. But during Christmas, your sales very often go up day over day, which means that the amount in your reserves is increasing by that much more. So, assuming funds don't get released for 45 days and you sell more day after day, I put a date in here to help us kind of see that. If your reserves started on October 8th and all funds are held for 45 days and your shipping cost more than 25%, it will take until day 61 into your reserves before you see any money. That's December 7th. And at that point, Etsy will be holding almost $15,000 and will have given you $145. And I'm laughing at how disgusting that is, by the way. And just to show you how really gross it is, that means that by Christmas, your deposits will have caught up enough that you'll be getting over $300 a day, but the cumulative amount that you will have received will be $4,386.67 in this scenario, and this is assuming that your sales fall off again sometime right before Christmas, even though we know lots of people are still ordering these last couple days. But we'll pretend they go back to normal somewhere at the end of December. They will have given you this amount here, but they will owe you a total of $18,200, which means by Christmas Day, you still will not have received 25% of your funds. I know that holds and reserves are done by a lot of companies, but springing this on sellers without any warning or any explanation of how it was going to work or how shipping was going to come out, nobody should just wake up one day expecting daily deposits and then not get anything for 61 days without warning. This feels criminal. I don't know if it really is or not, but I know that if I was relying on this money to take care of my family, I'd be pissed. There's not much more to be said about that. So I'll let you all look over that. And I'm going to share a link to this spreadsheet. I won't make it editable because I don't want anyone to screw up the formulas. But that way you can take a closer look at it.